All right, so today we are going to make falafel from scratch, and it's really not that difficult. All you need to do is assemble the ingredients. You do a little bit of soaking the night before for your chickpeas and your fava beans, but everything else is super easy. And the reason why I wanted to make it was because I looked in my pantry back here, and I had some dried emergency falafel mix. And then I went out earlier today as I was doing errands, and I was super hungry, and I thought, let me go ahead and grab a falafel. It's pretty harm-free and it'll be delicious. And I ended up getting these two crappy balls, and they were so tasteless. And how can you screw up a falafel? So I wanted to show you how I make my falafel balls. And then once you go ahead and make the recipe, you can make extra and then just stick them in the freezer and pull them out whenever you need them. All right, so let me show you the ingredients. All right, so it looks like it's a lot, but it really isn't. Now, if you remember the other day, if you watched the soaking video, I was soaking some chickpeas and some fava beans. So here are my chickpeas and fava beans. I had about a cup each, and then I've been soaking the beans, the fava beans. I soaked the fava beans for a little over 24 hours, and then I put them in the refrigerator. You can see they're nice and fat. Now, some people take the skins off of the fava beans before they make the falafel, but I leave it on. And then we have our chickpeas in here as well. All right, everybody does their falafels differently. I like the taste of fava beans and the chickpeas. I also take some onion. We'll probably use anywhere between a quarter to a half an onion, and I say approximate because as I make my falafels, I will taste it and see whether or not I need to add more onion or less onion. All right, so garlic, love garlic. You can use as much or as little as you like. You see I have a bunch here. I'd say this is probably a good 4 cloves. There were little tiny ones, but you know, 4 big cloves. Then I have some Himalayan salt. This is sumac, and I go to Middle Eastern restaurants or Middle Eastern stores, and I get sumac. And sumac is delicious. To me, it has a hint of like a lime or a lemon flavor to it, and I like that. I put this in all the time. That goes into my falafel. And then here I have some cumin. That always goes in, and you should taste it. I was tasting it before. You should taste it so you can get familiar with cumin if you have not tried it before. Okay, so that's going to go in. And then we have some coriander. Coriander is a really interesting taste, but I always include that in with my falafel. And then the last thing I have here are sesame seeds, and I'll mix a little bit either in with my mixture, or I might roll my falafel around in there. And then I have in the back here, I have a bunch of parsley, and I'm going to use this parsley for the falafel, and then I'll also use it for the tahini dip, and I'll probably use this for the salad stuff that goes on top. And then I have just a smidge of olive oil. Usually people will fry their falafels, but I don't feel like doing that. I'm going to actually bake it, so I'm just going to use a touch of that. And then I'm going to use my lovely little KitchenAid, and I can open it, and what I want to do is I want to take this off, and I'm going to add an attachment. So that'll be the next part. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use my KitchenAid, but if you happen to have a food processor, you could use your food processor as well. Just make sure that you have one of these on these blades. If you have a finer blade, that would work best. But I'm going to go with my KitchenAid. So let me move this one out of the way. Okay, so here we go. I need to use this addition. So I'm going to go and put this over here. But I like it because it has these blades. And I can take the blade off and I can choose which blade. This is a bigger holes, and then this blade has much finer holes. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go through the mixture twice. So I'm going to go and put this one on first with the bigger holes. Okay, we're just going to grind everything. I love my KitchenAid. I don't use it a lot, but when I do, it's fantastic. Nice and easy. I'll take my bowl off, and I'm going to put my bowl over here because everything is going to come out of this end. All right, so we have our fava and chickpeas. That will be going in, and then I have all of my onion, my garlic, sumac, coriander, cumin, Himalayan salt, all right? And then we have some sesame. So let's get this show on the road. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to switch out the blade. Let me show you. You want the ones with the smaller holes. We're going to run this through one more time. See the consistency? It's not fine enough. All right, so we're gonna double grind this. Here we go. All right, so now we have our really nice mixture. This was run through twice. You see that? It's enough, it's nice and soft to make balls out of. Now we're going to add our ingredients. So this is the sumac, and this is about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to use probably 1 tablespoon, and then I'll taste it. All right. Here we have the cumin. We'll use half of this, and then half of the coriander. So we're right at about a tablespoon of everything. We're going to use about a teaspoon of salt. And one of the things with falafels is that you really do need to season the falafel really, really well. All right. And then we're going to use about a teaspoon of the sesame seeds. All right. Okay, so let's mix this all together. And when we go through our second batch, that's when I'm going to go ahead and use my fingers and get it all ground up. But I just want to put this in first and then have a taste of it. All right, so this is a really good amount of falafel that we're able to make balls out of, and we can freeze it, and that way we can pull it out and cook it at any time. Like I said, I'm going to be baking these, but you can easily fry them if that's what you want to do. All right, so let me go ahead and taste it. Always taste your stuff. That's good. I want some more cumin. is actually the coriander. And the cumin. We're just going to do a touch of everything but the sumac. Here's the rest of our sesame. And a little half and a little pinch more of salt. And frankly, I feel like I need a little bit of lemon in it. I need to break it up. I need some acidity in there, just a squeeze. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fingers and get this nice and mixed, okay? Don't be afraid to play with your food. All the great chefs play with their food. Kidding? As long as your hands are clean, you're good to go, all right? This is nice and mixed. That's perfect. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to eat it. Look at that. This is fantastic. Oh my God, and so easy. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna cover it and we're gonna refrigerate it. We're gonna refrigerate it probably for about, I'd say at least a half an hour. And that'll give us enough time to clean up, and we can start on the salad that's going to go with our falafel. All right. So this, my friends. All right. So this, we're going to put this in the refrigerator. We're going to leave it in there for about a half an hour, something like that. We're going to get it a little chilly, and then we are going to use our falafel scoop. And this is an authentic falafel scoop that I got in Israel. And you can get this in any Middle Eastern grocery store, and they'll have some sort of a falafel scoop. You can use this. You can use, this is a measuring spoon. This is a tablespoon. You could use this to scoop it out and make a nice little ball out of it. You can also use an ice cream scooper. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the tahini sauce that will go over the falafel, and I will also make the salad that's going to accompany the falafel and the tahini sauce. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the tahini dressing for the falafel, and this is also super simple to make. You just need about 3 or 4 ingredients, and that's it. So let me show you how to do it. All right, so here are our ingredients. We have some lime, we have some fresh chopped parsley, and then we have some tahini. And we always called it, when I was living in Israel, it was tahina, but people say tahini here. So any kind of tahini. I happen to pick this up at Whole Foods. And then I'm using one of my canning jars. So watch. I'm gonna take about, and tahini always has like an oil on top there, so I'm gonna first mix it, because I don't wanna have all that oil. I'm going to mix it. Then I'm going to take 2 to 3 tablespoons of tahini, and I'll put that in there, and then everything else will follow, and then you can go ahead and taste it and see whether or not you like it, and then you can adjust the flavor. Okay, so here's 2, and all tahini is, they're sesame seeds that have been pulverized, and now they've turned into a paste. So think of it like peanut butter. It's just made out of sesames. All right, so that is done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in probably about a good tablespoon of the parsley. All right, and then we're going to go and take the lemon, and we'll squeeze it over it. You could add a little bit of water to thin it out. We'll see how it is after I put in 1 lemon. Okay. And if you don't like lemon, you can go ahead and use lime. That's okay too. And if you don't like lemon or lime, just mix this with a little bit of water, okay? This is already salty enough for me, but you might need to add salt, and that's okay. All right, so all I'm gonna do is put my lid on, and we are gonna shake this up. Now, you could do this in your bullet if you wanted to, but I don't think you need to. Okay, this is super thick, so what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of water. We'll add a little bit of water to it so it's not so thick. And just be careful, all right? Because all depends on how you like it. You might want it a little thicker, you might want it a little thinner, but we're going to go ahead and make a little hole here. That's about, I'd say, a tablespoon of water. I know, I'm somewhat of a sloppy cook, but that doesn't matter because it's just me, right? Let me cover it because this is just a little too sloppy even for me. All right, shake it up once more. All right. So you just keep adding water. You could add more lemon and you'll get it to the nice consistency that you want. And then this is going to go over top of the falafel. All right, let's add a little bit more water. So we're about three tablespoons. And like I said, if you want to add more lemon, you can. If you want to add a little bit more salt, you can do that too. Okay, but there you have it. That is the dressing for the falafel. Next up is the Israeli salad, or Middle Eastern salad. Again, this is just going to go on top of the falafel. All right, so we've made our tahini dressing that's going to go over top of the falafel. And then we have our salad that's going to go in the falafel as well. So we've got about another 20-25 minutes to go for the falafel to stay in the refrigerator. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make some falafel balls. We're going to pop them in the oven and then make us a falafel sandwich. Can't wait. All right, so it's been about 55 minutes, and I think that chickpeas and the fava beans have had enough time to marinate and suck up all the deliciousness from our spices. Looks good. There we go. Saw that last time, and oh yeah, it's nice and sticky. Can make a nice ball out of that, which is what we want. Okay. So I first want to show you, we're going to use this baking sheet But we have different types of things that we could use in order to make our falafels. So we could use a scoop like this. That would work. We could use this is just a tablespoon. We could use that to scoop it. We could use 2 spoons and just, you know, use it like that. And then there is this, which is an actual falafel maker. So you hold this down and you scoop it all together, and then you use this to tap it off. I think I'll use this, and then I'll probably use my hands. Pretty simple. It's whatever works, right? All right, so I'll move this aside. And because I'm not going to fry the falafel, I'm going to bake it. I am going to use a little bit of olive oil to sprinkle just on top of my falafel once I have it rolled. That much, and I'll use this to brush it on. It's a nice little rubber brush that I got. I love it because you can just stick it in the dishwasher. All right, how can we do this? I want you to have the best view. All right, so let me show you this. This is if you want to get, you know, the traditional shape. You have it on here, and you pat it down, and then you slide it off. And that's a traditional shape. See that? But it takes too long for me right now, so I'm just going to do it by feel. Do it in a nice little ball. That looks good, and it works. I could flatten it if I wanted to. If I flatten it, it will cook. It'll bake a lot faster. That's good. We'll see. And you be the judge, you know, how big you want it to be. We're going to bake this at a 400-degree oven. I think that is, I was inclined to do 425, but I've been a little absent-minded lately, and I've been forgetting things in the oven. So I don't want to take a chance and burn these. I'll still eat them, but it's nice to have them. Everything is done, and I can't wait to assemble it and eat it. So we have a fantastic falafel. We, me, my alter ego, us, all of us, right? Because you're going to be making it as well. I'm so excited. Yes, because I'm excited because our falafel is finished. We are ready to put it all together. So we made the falafel that just came out of the oven. We have the tahini dressing. We have the salad that goes over top of it. And I want to show you what a fabulous meal we're going to make. All right, let's get to it. All right. So our falafel, then we have our salad and our tahini dressing. And I want to show you the falafel. This just came right out of the oven. Now remember, it's baked, okay? I want to see if it's nice and moist. And it is. Oh yeah, baby. Fantastic. That's high protein, goodness, tasty. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build our falafel. Now, some people I know don't like tahini for whatever reason. So if you don't have tahini, you can also do hummus, or instead of tahini, do hummus. All right, and if you want to go really crazy, you can put some beautiful radish sprouts on top. It's not typically Middle Eastern, but what the heck? I had this in the fridge and I thought it might be nice to put those in there as well. And then of course you want to have some sort of spiciness to put in as well. This is an Israeli spice. And remember, this is the sambal, the Thai spice. This is all I had on hand, so I'll probably end up using this one. And when I have falafel, I always have to have pickle. I don't know why. I just do. And I love it. All right. Let's get to making this. So I'm going to, I think what I'll do is I'm going to use this paste. And look, it's just a green paste. It's not really spicy to the tongue, but it adds a nice little zing. So I'm going to put whatever paste you use, just put it on the inside, right? So that when you take a bite of it, you're going to taste all of the spiciness. And then I think that I am going to use a little bit of hummus. I'm going to use hummus. I'm going to paste it on the side as if you would like peanut butter or something. So that way it'll hold my falafel in place. So now I'm going to take my falafel and I'll probably use 2 or 3 of them. There's 2 and it can hold 1 small one. I guess I'll take this little half here. And I'm making a nice little pocket. All right, and then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some of the salad over it. Look at that. You guys, I can't wait. I'm salivating as I make this. Now you can put whatever you want on here, all right? I'm going to try this without the radish sprout and then with. I happen to like tahini, so I am going to put some on top. And that's just for a nice added flavor. Oh. All right, you guys. I feel it starting to drip. Let me put this up so we can do this together. All right, here it is. That's so good. You guys, this is so good and it's so healthy for you. And the thing is, you can make falafel any way that you want to make it. If you don't like the spices that I've used, use different spices. But the concept of how to make a falafel is pretty easy, right? And if you don't have the KitchenAid, then you can put it in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, try a blender. If you don't have a blender, try a bullet. If you don't have that, then you can mush it with a can or a rolling pin. So the concept is pretty much the same, right? So I like to mix things up, and I want to see what it tastes like to have some radish sprouts in there. I know, call me crazy, but I want to try it. I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to go and have a pickle as well. There's my radish sprouts. See how that tastes. All right, you guys. I'm going to finish this fantastic meal. It's easy to be healthy if you want to be healthy, and it just takes time and practice. I'm hoping that you'll attempt to make falafel. And remember, we make food according to how we like it. So don't think that it has to be perfect. And frankly, each falafel that I make, it tastes different. because it all depends on what kind of mood I'm in. A little more garlic, maybe I don't want to have any sumac, maybe I don't have any fava beans, I just have chickpeas, so it's all good. Get out there, make healthy choices. I'm so glad that you were here watching me make falafels, and I'll see you in the next video.